Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Let's raise this up a little bit because it's cutting my head off, as it is the 27th of June, 2026, and today was WWE Night of Champions. Not only was it Night of Champions, but it was also the finals of both the King and Queen of the Ring. I thought the show was mirrored with a couple, maybe more than a couple, technical difficulties. I got some buffering and the quality dipped a few times. And B, the audio wasn't great for half of this show. Michael Cole's microphone was messed up from the jump, like his headset, where it looked like, I don't know what the problem was. It was a feedback issue at one point, and then the gain was just too high. So then eventually in the main event, Corey just gave his headset to Cole. But that was a problem. And then basically, like when the show started, this crowd felt super hot and fiery for Oba, Femi, and Jey Uso. But as the show went on, it felt like they were getting quieter and quieter. Now, granted, during the Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton match, they were quiet because they didn't care about that match. But then in the main event, like you could tell this was a lively crowd, but you couldn't hear them greatly because I feel like there was a miking issue and there was audio issues. Elite, you're not the only member, and you're not now just not. We have a number of different members. You don't know how many members we actually have. To say, hey, I'm not the only member anymore. Fuck you. Fuck you taking that jab at me. You're not the only member. You weren't the only member. We have a bunch of channel members that support us here on YouTube. So yeah, get that one straight. But sorry. I've just been going through it with people and criticizing and I'm going to get to that here in a moment, but reason why I haven't been doing live streams and stuff. But as far as the show does go, I feel like there were a number of issues. The Tiffany Jade match was not good. There was way more interference than we needed. And yeah, I just... Overall, I didn't hate the show. Between the Tiffany match and the main event, there was enough time for me to go outside, pull the cover off of my pool, turn on the pump, and skim it so the kids can go swimming. That's another issue with these damn ESPN shows. Too much downtime between matches. Did I miss anything? I don't know. I don't think I did. Because I got back in just as Alicia Taylor, or no, well, not Alicia Taylor. Whoever the ring announcer was tonight. Maybe it was Alicia Taylor. I don't remember who it was. We're doing the ring announcing, like just finishing up, like right before the bell rings. So it was like I had enough time. Anyways. But like if I was voting with you guys, I would want to say, because like I liked the OBJ match. I thought Io and Liv was pretty good. I liked the main event a lot. I thought Trick and Ricky was all right, and then Tiffany and Jade was just bad. So it's like I want to vote. If I was voting with you guys, I liked it, but I almost want to give it. It was just all right because there was technical difficulties that brought the quality of the show down, and then there was two matches that were just all right. So it's like I'm sitting right between that. I liked it, and it was just all right, if I'm going to be completely honest. 6-match show. Like, I thought it was a good thing, opening with Oba on ESPN, Oba and Jay, and getting Oba over. No Brock. A lot of people, even myself, thought maybe Brock Lesnar can show up, but no Brock. And it's going to be, because I don't see it being, unless the reason Sammy got the title is just to get squashed really fast by Oba at SummerSlam for the belt. I don't see that happening. I think it's going to be Oba and Roman. Oba beats Roman for the title. Roman goes and takes his early fall break. That's my opinion. So we'll see how it all does go, but excuse me, I was trying not to burp and cough and whatnot into the microphone. But so as far as the channel being a little lack on content recently, I was actually advised that I had to take a break because I actually got death threats. If I'm going to be completely honest, I'll just say it. Not allowed to say anything more than that, other than, I made a tweet the other day. I'm going to read this tweet really fast. Let me go and find it, because I want to read this tweet and explain what I meant by it. I said, now where is it? It really feels like online wrestling fans have gotten more toxic than ever. Wrestlers getting buried off the platform, and if you talk about it, they don't let you have an opinion. Spamming your comments or live chat makes me not want to cover it anymore. So if you guys have watched me for any time on here, you know there's always going to be one person in almost every live stream is going to come and go, "Why did you say this was going to happen? It never happened. You lied." Whether that was from an aggregation and that aggregation was wrong, or they just totally make stuff up. Like I think it was Clash in Italy. "You said there's gonna be a big debut on this show and nobody debuted. Why would you lie to us like that?" I never said that. But someone came into the live chat and just spamming up the live chat talking about this, saying that not true. And like even today, I can go on here. I tweeted. Man, they're glazing Jay hard on commentary. And the reason I tweeted that is because when WWE has commentary super put over a talent in a match, like she's great, she's this, she's that, it means they're losing. And they want to still try to make them seem like a big deal, even in losing. And I get a comment, rightfully so. "Was you about to cry about it?" No, I was making an observation. I'm not allowed to have an observation is what I retweeted. Or responded. And the person said, "No, shut up and watch the match." First off, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Then I was like, "Excuse me." In my whole joke about, who pissed in your Cheerios today and made you mad? Get out of your grandma and mama's house, go touch grass. You're trying to be a tough guy on the internet. And they said, all I said was shut up and watch the match. And you started crying. Why are you so mad? Crying for what? It's fucking fans like this that makes me, and I've talked to some other creators too, that don't even want to fucking do this anymore. You're not allowed to have an opinion without somebody just wanting to shit all over you. Granted, if I had a bad opinion, I'll say it right now, I've had bad opinions before, then shit all over me. But all I did was make an observation. Man, they glazed and Jade hard on commentary. And then tell me, shut up and watch the match. What they should be doing. Did you not watch the match? I'll say right now, Jade didn't look good. Tiffany didn't even look good. Match wasn't good. But the reason they were glazing Jade hard, I keep saying Jade, is because they're basically telling us, Jade's great, Jade's this, but she's not winning. That's a WWE trope. They do it all the time. That's why I made that observation online. But apparently I'm not allowed to do that. And this has been happening a lot. Where people just want to come in here and shit all over me. Why don't you do your live streams like this guy? This guy's better than you. Okay. Someone else gets more views than me. I don't care. The channel is hitting the expectations that I want and need for the channel for me to be successful. The channel has over 181,000 subscribers. That accomplishment actually got me recruited for my current job that makes me more money than YouTube ever has. I'm just going to say that right now. Everyone's saying, oh, you only get X amount of views. Or, oh, you don't get as many views as X person or Y person. So everyone's view of, what's the word I'm looking for? Success and achieving their goals is different. I've hit those goals that I've put up for myself. I've achieved those goals. I hit something that got me more than just this. That got me a job that I wasn't even looking for. That got me recruited and reached out to because, hey, we like your content. Come do that for our company. We like the way you are on camera. We like the way you edit your videos. We like your style. Come do that for our company. We'll pay you XYZ. How many other content creators did you want me to be like, get that, have gotten that? You know what I'm saying? But the other thing I said, death threat. I did get a death threat where I was advised by police, hey, you may want to not go on camera for a couple of weeks. You might want to just cool it down because someone, I'll say it. When I moved from California, I told you all I moved to the Tulsa area, but never said where in Tulsa, whether that's right in Tulsa or a surrounding city. Someone found out what surrounding city I do live in. And they're like, oh, I don't like the way you cover wrestling. I don't like your channel. Maybe I should come and stop you and put an end to you and your family. Well, excuse me? And so I went to authorities with that. They found the guy. He was arrested. That's all I can say. Someone didn't like my take on wrestling and said they wanted to end me and my family and knew what city I lived in, even though I've never said it before on here. So, yeah. Yeah. My hands are kind of tied. Can't really legally say more than that, but I did want to just give you guys an explanation on what's been going on and why I've been kind of MIA, I guess you would say, a little bit recently. But we're here today. We're talking this Night of Champions. Tomorrow, we're going to talk Forbidden Door. Maybe I watched a little bit of Great American Bash. Probably not Slammiversary. I don't know. But I know Forbidden Door is going to be the main topic for tomorrow. And then we'll go forward with what content's going to look like after that. I'll still try to do Raws and SmackDowns, do the Wednesday streams, and go on from there, do more gaming stuff as well. So, yeah. But with all of that, I want to say thank you for joining me here, twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. Remember, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out by hitting that donate button or by donating Twitch bits, just like Esports Gaming Rules in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can help us out by hitting, by donating, or by subscribing with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Help us out. Hold on. What do you mean, Elite? Probs, Tim, going to the police with that. With what? Going to the police with what? Yeah, I went to the police because someone threatened me and my family to end us. What do you mean, Prob, going to the police with that? You want to talk shit? I'll just fucking bang your motherfucking ass out of here. I'm sick of your shit. Helps out over on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live. Post new videos or post to the community tab. Also, remember, you can help us out by hitting that join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to our graphics tutorials, graphics packages, a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis, and so much more. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can donate a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. With all of that, I'm going to pull up the Wikipedia because I don't have times for these matches. Because I want to know how long these matches win, especially the ESPN ones, like the first hour ones. Oh, okay, Elite. Then I apologize. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll say it. You must have meant prop. Did you mean props instead of probs? Because probs made it sound like someone just said something in the chat and and you were making fun. Gotcha. Okay. And I apologize for blowing up on you like that. And when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I was just wrong because spell check or whatever. Autocorrect. Sorry about that. Night of Champions wikis. So the first match, Oba and Jay went 8 minutes, 7:55, according to the Wikipedia. Sounds about right. Actually, before we get into that, we do have some bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules. He donated a couple that says RIP Joe, RIP Joe Doring. Yeah, if you guys did not hear, unfortunately, Joe Doring did end up having brain cancer for a third time earlier this week, went into hospice care and did pass away, I want to say yesterday. So that is unfortunate. Rest in peace to Joe Doring. We're going to send our condolences and our love to all of his friends, family, and fans. Joe Doring, he was great. All Japan tried to make him the new Stan Hansen. Then he came into the TNA. I think his last match, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, his last match was against Josh Alexander in TNA, I want to say. He also says, Sammy, also thank you for, what does this say? You're currently on a 3 streak. Oh, because you're a subscriber on Twitch. Got it. It read differently than it normally does. It says Sammy won in a shocker. We thought he was going to win the world title at WrestleMania 43 Riyadh. That's when I thought they would wait for it. I thought they would wait till next year's Mania and crown him big at Mania. But then when they put him in this match, and I'm like, this match is happening in Saudi. I was sitting here going, I don't think. My thought process was, I don't think Sammy's winning, but I also don't think they're pinning Sammy in Saudi. Well, I thought it was going to be Cody and Gunther, or Gunther with one of them getting the pin, and, getting pinned. I just didn't think Sammy was winning now. I thought it was going to be one of those, oh, you thought, Sammy and Saudi. Nope. Yep. Some people, like, I think it was Brian Alvarez said the other day, now that we look at where this match is taking place and what this match is, I think Sammy wins. And Brian Alvarez called it. I was kind of on the fence. I was like, I don't think, like, I was on the train of Sammy's winning that world title in Saudi. I just thought it was going to be Mania because that's the bigger stage. He also says, I'm shocked that Sami Zayn won the championship. We thought we were going WrestleMania. Now is setting up Gunther versus Nick Aldis. I mean, we thought they were setting up Nick Aldis matches before and it never happened. Like Nick and Randy or Nick and Kevin. And that never happened. So I don't know if they're ever going to let Nick Aldis wrestle, if I'm going to be completely honest. But this opening match. And if anything happened on the pre-show, I didn't watch the pre-show. Maybe saw the last 5-6 minutes or so. But as far as this opening match does go, we do have a super chat from Elite. He says, glad you're back, Tim. But man, people can't say anything without people getting their feelings hurt. Glad you're safe, though. So it's not even the whole getting their feelings hurt thing. That's what people say to me whenever I clap back on Twitter. Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Because So, like, where was it? There was one I tweeted the other day. No, it was, I can't remember what it was now. Something AEW related. And someone came at me calling me dumb. And then I was like, oh, I'm dumb, but you can't give a reason why you call him. I was like, why am I dumb? You call me dumb, but then don't give her a reason. And someone goes, oh, did I hurt your feelings? Like, no, I just don't call somebody names and then don't say why. Because then you just look dumb. But yeah, it's the whole thing where it's like you can't have an opinion anymore, especially in the IWC, YWC, whatever you want to call it, the internet wrestling community. No one can just have an opinion. It's one thing if you have an opinion, someone goes, well, I think this, and then you like not argue, but it's like more of a spirited conversation back and forth of, okay, you say this, but I say this, and here's why I say this, and I get why you say this. Like, why can't we do that more? About 5-6 years ago, there was all of that on Twitter. That's what Twitter used to be. And it was fun. And you can converse back and forth, say, oh, I don't like Liv being in the finals of the Queen of the Ring because of this. And someone would go, well, I like it because it sets up this. And you can go, okay, I get that, but here's my rebuttal. Like, we can't debate anymore. It's just more of a, you're dumb, you're a piece of shit, fuck you, I don't like what you have to say kind of thing. And now, that's what Twitter's become. Threads is getting there a little, and I don't really respond on Blue Sky. I just post and don't look anymore. But I loved back in the day when we could have a spirited debate or conversation about things and different opinions on things. Now it's, you say something, and you're going to get everybody shitting on you, no matter what. Even if they're wrong, factually. Like, even if they're factually wrong, and you can show the facts. And, like, it's one thing if someone comes on and goes, I don't like the way you do your live stream because of this. But to go, I don't like the way you do your live stream, you should be more like this guy. You should get, I'll just say it. There's one guy that keeps telling me I need to be more like JD. Oh, you don't get mad enough. You don't yell enough. But I haven't watched your stuff in 3 years. What? You're going to criticize the way I do my live streams and then go, but I haven't watched your stuff in 3 years? Yeah. Come the fuck on, guy. Anyways, back to Oba and Jay. That was a really good opener. Where are we? Okay, so Uso tried to avoid Femi's power early on. He ducked down to the floor to avoid a charge, but Femi came and followed him out with the axe handle. Uso then sent Femi into the ring post and then hit a pair of topes, tried to go for a third one, and Femi cut him off the forearm straight to the face. Straight to the face that I think even maybe connected a little bit. Elite, I'm not going to say. You guys know who JD is. Back in the ring, Femi crushed Uso with a shoulder breaker. Femi then whipped Uso into the corner. Uso escaped a choke slam and hit a super kick to the midsection of Oba Femi. Michael Cole started talking about how I think Jay's injured his ribs. He bumped them into the barricade twice. Oba went, grabbed him, and that was about it. Uso then escaped a sit-out powerbomb, which actually was a very cool way to escape it. Yeah, we see all the time, lift him up, jump down. But Oba actually went down for the powerbomb, thinking he still had Jay in his hands. So he just literally just went, and then fell for it, right? And then goes, where is he? And then Jay kicked him in the back of the head. So I liked how he followed through with it and everything, not just lifting him up. Jay jumped down. He goes, I'm not even going to do the move. I love how he followed through with it. Great spot there. Uso then hit a couple more super kicks, came off the top, hit a splash. Femi then grabbed him up by the throat and choke slammed him for a near fall. Femi then charged, but Uso hit him with a super kick, then followed up with a pair of super kicks and a pair of spears right to the injured ribs of Oba Femi. Uso then came off the top with a splash, then followed this up with another splash, but Oba kicked out. Uso then locked in a sleeper hold and a body scissors, but then Oba's eyes got wide, right? And Oba got up. Uso then caught Femi with a super kick, but Oba came back with a pair of elbows and a toss across the ring. Femi then hit the fall from Grace and pinned him. 1, 2, 3. New King of the Ring. 2026 King of the Ring. The ruler is now the king, and he has a decision to make. Oba Femi must choose either the World Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns, or the WWE Champion, Sami Zayn, to face at SummerSlam. I think it's the former. I think he's going Roman. I think he beats Roman. I could be wrong, but I think Oba beats Roman. He beat Jay. Now he's got to level it up and take not main event Jey Uso, but the big dog, the OTC Roman Reigns. He's just going up the bloodline. Maybe between now and SummerSlam, he faces Jacob. He beats Jacob. I don't want anybody beating Jacob, but maybe that's the next progression. Or maybe he beats Jimmy. Something. But I think by the time night 2 of SummerSlam is over, Oba Femi's your WWE champion. Your World Heavyweight champion, I mean. We'll see. Good match, though. I thought these two worked very well together. Again, it went, according to Wikipedia, 7 minutes and 55 seconds. Which was like half the time Io and Liv got, which was kind of weird. I thought maybe you would even them out and give them equal time. But, hey, each their own. We'll see. I think Roman's on that part-timer deal. And so he's poised for another break, even though he's kind of not been around much anyways. He shows up. He's maybe half the time, maybe, I guess you would say. But we'll see. I think it's Oba and Roman, and Oba beats Roman. That's just my prediction. Moving forward in the Queen of the Ring finals, it was Liv Morgan, the Women's World Champion, versus Io Sky. So Danhausen comes out first. He addresses the crowd and immediately is cut off by Liv Morgan. Morgan walks up and goes, "You owe the Judgment Day money." And it's like, what? No. Apparently the storyline is they paid him like $10,000 to curse Oba Femi. It didn't work, or he didn't do it and still took the money. They're saying he stole money from the Judgment Day. Well, all they got to do is say, hey, I tried to curse Oba, but Oba's uncursable because he's such a beast of a man, mountain of a man, ruler of a man, king of a man. He's uncursable. I tried, so I still get the money. The whole you owe us money thing is so stupid. We paid you to curse. I'm over Danhausen. Danhausen is a good personality, but now, have you seen the fucking dumbass shit they're doing with Miz? Where Miz is now his zombie puppet, basically? This shit is so dumb. Like, cool. Let Danhausen be a character that's going to go out there and make a clone of himself, whatever. Go on ESPN and have fun and be a cheerleader for the kids and all that, fine, whatever. But when you're now making, how do I say this? Other wrestlers look even dumber than they are. I don't like it. When you're doing these storylines where we paid you to curse somebody, it ain't fucking real. Oh, he uncursed the Knicks. That's why the Knicks won. No. You want to know? You want to know why the goddamn Knicks beat the Spurs? Because the East is easy right now. They ran through everybody in short amount of time, and the Spurs had to play more games 6s and 7s. So they were more tired going into the finals, which is not an excuse. But Knicks had way more time to heal up and rest, and they played less in the finals than the Spurs. They weren't as beat up or whatever. Esports Gaming Rule says, what do you think about the rumors of GCW going to my AEW? So I haven't really, I saw like a headline, but I didn't really look into it. I know it was a Fightful report. Is my AEW and all these indies going to it for the US or just international? Because I know in the US you can't watch AEW on it like you can internationally because it's a Triller and the AEW Plus thing and all that. But is it that? Hold on, let's pull up the Fightful report really fast. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline because I was dealing with some stuff yesterday. Patreon. Let's see. Fightful reports. Triller, the home of GCW, had major financial structure problems, including with AEW themselves. This led to the creation of My AEW service, with House of Glory announcing that they're leaving Triller. GCW remains one of the only wrestling properties on the service. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful spoke to GCW owner Brett Lauderdale, who acknowledged Triller's issues, but said that so far they've been exempt from that and relationship remains strong. However, Lauderdale did confirm that he had discussions with All Elite Wrestling about possibly appearing on the My AEW service in the future. There are no other details provided. Okay, there's really a non-story. It's a story to say, hey, there's nothing right now. So all you guys trying to make assumptions and say, oh, they're leaving for this and they're going to, don't, because it's not happening right now. That's all it is. Anyways, yeah, there's nothing to it. There's literally nothing to it. Fightful just put up a report saying, hey, quit making up rumors of something that's not happening. And apparently there's a whole interview with Brett Lauderdale coming out next week. Yeah. But EO and Liv, these two worked very well together as they have in the past. Crowd was solidly behind EO Sky. Sky missed a charge into the corner early on, but she backdropped Morgan onto the apron. She tried for a sunset flip powerbomb to the floor, but Morgan blocked it. On the floor, Sky came back off the barricade with a crossbody and celebrated with some young fans in the front row. Morgan responded by sending Sky headfirst into the ring post. At one point, Sky escaped a chin lock with a snapmare. Morgan and Sky then exchanged kicks and forearms and more shots and whatnot, with Sky gaining the advantage. Morgan charged into a boot from Sky, but avoided a drop kick. Morgan then went for a Boston Crab, but leaned too far back, and Sky rolled through and gave Morgan a double stomp. So Liv's got this new Boston Crab finisher she's trying to get over that she's been using here recently. She wrenched it in a way where Michael Cole's like, that's almost Lion Tamer-esque, Cole. Corey Graves said that, I mean. Morgan at one point was like a shark who smelled the blood in the water and went right after the injured knee of EO Sky. EO Sky apparently got, well, not apparently, she did, pushed off the top rope, basically, landed on the steps, but in the process of landing on the steps, tweaked her knee and then sold it for the rest of the match. She locked in that Boston Crab again. Sky tried to get to the ropes, but Morgan dragged her back into the middle of the ring. Sky escaped, and they started throwing punches with the booyah spot from the crowd. Morgan then kicked her in the knee. Morgan then hit a code breaker out of what looked like an attempted oblivion, and we keep on going. This is the funny thing. With Corey Graves going, you know, that Boston Crab looks kind of Lion Tamer-esque. And then her doing the code breaker, all kinds of Jericho stuff. Morgan then went for an oblivion, but Sky ducked it. Morgan got caught up in the ropes. Sky went for a dive off the middle ropes, but missed and jammed her knee again. Morgan and Sky battled up to the top. Sky then hit a Spanish fly off the top rope, then came off the top with the moonsault. And there we go, 1, 2, 3. Even though she was injured. Io picks up the win and defeats Liv. She's the new queen of the ring, and afterwards she's asked, what are your thoughts on winning queen of the ring? And she just goes, I am the queen of the ring. Liv, see you again at SummerSlam. That's the first official match for the 2026 SummerSlam in Minneapolis. It will be Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against Io Sky. Liv has beaten Io, 2 or 3 times? This is the first time Io's actually beaten Liv, and so we'll see if Io can win again. I think Io should win. I think title change, they should put that title on Io. Both king and queen to win them titles at SummerSlam. Also, I forgot to mention, when Oba won, he had the crown in one hand, and he did like the Oba pose, right? And then he pointed. I'm like, what the fuck is he pointing at? There's no WrestleMania sign or SummerSlam sign. This ain't Royal Rumble. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I think both Io and Oba should walk out of SummerSlam champion. Which means, I guess you would say, no, I was going to say I'll move from Io to Raw, but it wasn't Io that moved to SmackDown. It was Rhea that moved to SmackDown. My bad. Thinking wrong. But 2 solid matches on ESPN to open up the show. Then we go to third match, the first match on just ESPN Unlimited. And it was Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker inside a steel cage. Seth Rollins comes down to the ring and immediately is throwing just a bunch of stuff in the ring. Kendo sticks and chairs and table and all kinds of stuff. And so each man entered the ring. Each man sat in a chair and stared at the other before the bell rang. The bell then rang. And they got out of their chairs and they started exchanging punches. Breaker tried to slingshot Rollins into the cage, but he caught himself and came off the cage with a springboard crossbody. Breaker dumped Rollins to the trifecta of German suplexes. Breaker at one point gave Rollins a side suplex into a steel chair. Rollins tried a chop, but Breaker lawn darted him right into the cage. Rollins then tried a rolling forearm, but Breaker came back with a jumping knee. Breaker then tried a Rana, but Rollins countered that with a power slam. Both guys were down. Breaker and Rollins started exchanging punches, with Rollins getting the better of it. Rollins hit a series of clotheslines to finally take Breaker off of his feet. Rollins then wore out Breaker with a kendo stick. Rollins then tossed Breaker into the cage a few more times. So Breaker was caught in the ropes, kind of between the cage and the ropes. Rollins took advantage of this by sending him headfirst into the cage several times. Rollins then set up a table in the corner, and Breaker went for a spear. Rollins caught him, though, with a kick and a clothesline. Rollins tried to bury Breaker in a pile of rubble, chairs, and whatnot, but Breaker got out of it, cut him off. Rollins shoved Breaker down, and Breaker ran right back into the top and gave Rollins a top rope Frankensteiner into a pile of chairs for a near fall. Rollins then was worn down here, and Breaker came off the top with a clothesline for a near fall. Breaker called Rollins a, quote, crazy old man. Breaker then told Rollins that he was going to die and he was going to kill him. He wedged his head in between a chair. Breaker took a swing with another chair, which took way too long to set up here. Looked kind of dumb. Rollins then got out of it, hit a pair of super kicks, and super kicked a chair into Braun Breaker's head, which actually went over Braun's head. And Michael Cole's over here going, oh, Braun Breaker's head caught in the chair. Breaker just throws it off. Rollins, though, charges at him. Breaker killed him with a hell of a spear. Breaker then set up a table. Rollins was struggling to get up. Breaker then set Rollins up on the table. Breaker then climbed to the top rope, looking down, and decided to climb down off the top of the cage like, could have won this match, motherfucker. Rollins quickly followed him, though. Breaker and Rollins did more yaboo spots here and punches and whatnot. Rollins then raked Breaker's eyes, then superplexed Breaker off the top of the cage. And somewhere in the process of all of this, Braun's hole just all this covered in blood. Braun bleeding hard. I don't know exactly what happened. He was bleeding right all around his left eye. All around his left eye. Rollins went for a stomp, but charged into a clothesline. Breaker then ran through Rollins with a spear. Rollins kicked out at 2. At one point, Rollins set up for another stomp, and Breaker put his hands up, and Rollins stopped in his tracks for some reason. Oh, the fuck this was. It's kind of a dumb finish. Breaker then tried to get back to his feet. Rollins then came off the middle rope with a stomp and just stomped him. Why would he stop? Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. And then he just stops. What? Stupid. Very dumb. This match itself went 19 minutes and 5 seconds. The last match, Io and Liv, 14:55, almost 15 minutes. So yeah, I hate those where it's like, it's one thing if it's like two friends and then they're having like a perfect example, the old Sami Zayn Kevin Owens feud. Sammy's the heel, Kevin's the babyface, or vice versa, and you have the heel go, "Don't do it. I'm sorry. Let's just talk it out. We're best friends. We're brothers." Okay, whatever. And then you stop and go, "Do I want to hurt my best friend?" This is more of Braun just got in his head and said stop and still got beat. Dumb. Good match with kind of a dumbish finish. So then we had Ricky Saints challenging Trick Williams for the United States Championship. Lil Yachty in the corner. This match went 10:50. So they're going back and forth. Nothing really much happens the first couple of minutes. On the floor, Saints grabs Yachty's kendo stick. With the ref's back turned, Saints smacked to the ring stairs with the kendo stick and then dropped down to the Eddie Guerrero spot, making it look like he was hit with his kendo stick. Ref turned around, saw Saints down, kind of selling the kendo stick shot. Ooh. Someone's got a sharp pain in my stomach. That's weird. Might have gas. I don't know. That's weird. Where was I? Sorry about that. That just really threw me off. Ooh. I think I might just have gas. I lost my whole spot here. Where we go? Referee saw him down, so he ejected Lil Yachty. He then flew all the way to Saudi Arabia for nothing. Lil Yachty. Anyways, Saints took control with the flying clothesline on the floor. Back in the ring, Williams battled back with some chops, but Saints cut him off with the clothesline. Saints did an old school rope walk, then dumped Williams to the mat with a suplex. Saints then got a near fall off a sunset flip. Saints hit a forearm for another near fall. Saints was on offense and really couldn't do much with it, if I'm going to be honest. Trick eventually did come back with some offense of his own. The crowd was really behind Trick Williams. He hit him with a Uranagi and got a near fall. Trick, that is. At one point, Trick hit a pump kick, but Saints came back with the forearm. Williams then caught Saints with the Hangman's neck breaker and got a near fall off of it. Saints avoided a trick shot and caught Williams with the tornado DDT. Saints came back off the top awkwardly with an elbow. Got a near fall. Saints countered with a Uranagi and hit a knee. Williams then ducked a clothesline and hit the trick shot out of nowhere. Pinned him 1, 2, 3. The match was fine, but it was really like nothing special. I'm going to be honest. It was just nothing special. Went a little over 10 minutes, 10 and a half-ish. Almost 11. It was fine. You know what wasn't fine? Jaden and Tiffany. Also, before this, they did make it known Roman will be on Raw Monday, and the show starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. Jaden and Tiffany for the Women's United States Championship. I guess you would say the crowd was a little more behind. Well, they were behind Tiffany, but they weren't really behind any of them, if I'm going to be honest. Cargill had the early advantage. Had Tiffany cracked down in the corner, so she did some push-ups. Crowd just not responding at all. Cargill then caught Stratton with a spinning boss slam. Well, black hole slam, whatever you want to call it. Cargill then ran into some back elbows on Stratton. Stratton hit a drop kick. Cargill went for a jaded, but Stratton rolled through and hit a drop kick for a near fall. Stratton caught Cargill with a rolling senton. She went for a prettiest moonsault ever, but Cargill got her knees up. Then I started having some connection issues where it was buffering. And it came back low quality. Then it buffered again. This is where I was having my technical difficulties. So at one point, B-Fab and Meechin show up. Chelsea Green then shows up to dispatch of them. She then gets bumped into the U.S. title, which she picks up and gets into the ring, and then gets dropped in the ring, and then she gets thrown around by Jade, and so Jade sees the title in the ring, picks it up, goes to pick it up, but all of a sudden, Charlotte appears and goes, yoink, you ain't using that. And then she hits Jade with the title after the referee's distracted. Activities hits the PME and wins. Like, that's it. Pretty shitty match, if I'm going to be completely honest. It went 7.5 minutes, and it was not good at all. Crowd was dead for 99.9% of it. It had way too much interference, and they go, we know this match ain't going to be good, so we need smoke and mirrors. Yeah. That was it. So then we go to our main event. Sami Zayn and Gunther challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Made a point to tell you this is the 10th time Sami has challenged for a world title in WWE. Gunther dumps Zayn early on. Actually, before the bell even rings. Zayn came back and dumped Gunther. Rhodes and Zayn then did great wrestling here. Eventually fought to the floor. Rhodes then hit a drop-down uppercut to Sami. Gunther caught Zayn running the ropes, pulled him to the floor, and sent him into the ring steps. Back in the ring, Gunther worked over Rhodes. Zayn jumped Gunther from behind, and Gunther dumped him to the floor again. Gunther drew some boos from the crowd in Saudi, which was kind of starting to wake back up. He then dropped Rhodes with a chop, and he got an ear fall off of it. Zayn got back into the ring and jumped into a chop from Gunther. Gunther then dumped Zayn with a back suplex. Rhodes caught Gunther with a Cody cutter. Rhodes then caught Gunther with a power slam and hit Sami Zayn with a side effect for a near fall. One point on the floor, Zayn sent Gunther into the steel steps and back into the ring. Rhodes hit Zayn with a series of jabs, but Zayn hit a blue thunder bomb for a near fall. The desperation on Zayn's face really showed, oh crap, I thought I had this. Sami had great facials. They all had really good facials, but Sami's like one of those guys that his facial expressions are just so on point and elevated above most. Like, I don't know if Sami Zayn would make a good actor, but, and I forget who else said this recently. Oh, it's Paul Heyman. I'm not a good actor, but I am a good performer. It's basically what he said to Chris Van Vliet. So, yeah, and I think Sami's the same way. I don't know if Sami would be good acting in a movie or on a TV show, but Sami Zayn performing in the ring and doing the little things like that, the way he does his promos and the way he's got the facial expressions, perfection. Sami's awesome. So Zayn set it for a haluva kick, but Gunther grabbed Zayn and crotched him against the ring post. Gunther then went after Rhodes with some chops. Gunther then set up Rhodes with a short arm clothesline, but Rhodes countered into a crossroads. He went for the pinfall, but Zayn pulled the referee out of the ring and prevented the 3 count. Rhodes and Zayn then squared off and exchanged forearms and punches and whatnot. Rhodes missed a disaster kick and Zayn hit a brainbuster. He went for the cover, but Gunther came off the top rope with a splash. Gunther powerbombed Zayn, then powerbombed Rhodes on top of Zayn. Gunther went for another powerbomb on Zayn, but Zayn flipped him into a code red for a near fall. We then got a very awesome sequence here. Zayn climbed to the top rope and dove onto Gunther. Gunther went for a kick in the corner, but Zayn ducked and Gunther got caught up in the ropes. Zayn then saw this as an opening and his chance to go for a haluva kick, but this time it was Rhodes who pulled the referee out of the ring after that haluva kick. 1-2, no. Great sequence there where it's like, oh my God, Sami's got him down. This is how Sami won WrestleMania. Oh my God. Referee yanked out by Cody. Cody's like, no. Zayn and Rhodes then brawled on the floor. Hold on. Stop. Hannon's going to come in and say, I want to vent. I didn't watch the event. Full stop on everything. If you guys have watched me for any length of time, you know my thing. You can't have an opinion on a show if you didn't fucking watch it. You can't vent about a show if you didn't fucking watch it. He says, I saw Sami as champ. What the hell? And it was Sami Zayn in the main event of a show in Saudi with title on the line. What the fuck you think? They love him there. I thought they were going to wait till Mania, but I knew Sami's world title win's going to come in Saudi. I knew it. Like I said earlier, I didn't think it was coming tonight, but I wasn't super shocked. I did go, holy shit, when they counted the 3, because I thought Cody was going to kick out. But, like, you could be shocked, but it's not a surprise. Sami's going to win his world title in Saudi. They've been teasing that for well over a year now. Anyways, but my whole thing is, you can't vent about a show you didn't watch. You can't have an opinion on something you didn't watch. That's like saying, all these fuckers, Supergirl's gonna suck because Millie Alcock isn't hot enough. Well, I haven't seen Supergirl yet, but I have friends that did and said the movie sucked because the writing was bad, but Millie Alcock actually did a phenomenal job with what she was given and she's a good Supergirl. So, all those people were wrong. I had multiple people tell me that, and I've read multiple reviews that say that Supergirl was bad for the writing, but Millie Alcock was good in the role. Like, she's a good Supergirl. Anyways, Where were we? Cody pulled the ref out. Zayn and Rhodes then brawled on the floor. Rhodes cleared the American announce table, and Zayn cleared the Arabic announce table. Zayn tried for a package pile driver on the table, but Rhodes escaped and backdropped Sammy through the other announce table. Elite, did you go to the theaters and watch Supergirl? Because you're notorious for having an opinion on something that you didn't even see. You do this all the time, guy. Anyways. Gunther recovered and grabbed Rhodes. Gunther powerbombed Rhodes onto the Arabic announce table, but it didn't break. So Gunther immediately grabbed Rhodes and powerbombed him again for a second time to break it. Back in the ring, Gunther locked Rhodes in a sleeper and a body scissors, and Cody's fading. His arms just floppity flip-flop. Referee goes, oh my God. Hooks it up. It starts to fall. Boom, Sammy grabs it. Oh, it ain't falling. Because Sammy doesn't know how this ref's going to react. Is this a drop 3 times referee, or is it a drop 1 time referee? Because we know that is the thing. Referee's discretion. Ref can call it after 1 flop. Ref sometimes waits till 3 flop. Sammy wasn't waiting. Sammy wasn't taking that. No. So Gunther then pulled Sammy into the ring by his hair, basically, and chopped him. Zayn came back and hit Gunther with an exploder in the corner and a haluva kick, but Gunther kicked out at 2. I love the drama here, where it's like, oh my God, Gunther almost just won. Oh my God, Sammy stopped it after Cody just stopped it. It's no DQ, so we could do all this. Like, great storytelling throughout this match, I will say, with these 3 guys. This was great. Rhodes was out on the floor. Zayn was frustrated while Gunther was out. Also, Graves apparently gave his headset to Michael Cole at this point because Michael Cole's headset was just all kinds of messed up throughout most of this show. Gunther leveled Zayn with a clothesline. Rhodes then went for a crossroads on Sammy, but Sammy reversed into a crossroads of his own. Zayn then went for a haluva kick, but Gunther caught him with a sleeper. Zayn then reversed that into a sleeper, but then Cody grabbed both of them for a crossroads, and he hit double crossroads, went to give Sammy another crossroads, but Sammy reversed it. Rhodes then went for the crossroads. Sammy reversed out of it, countered it, cradle 1, 2, 3. OMG. Holy crap. He actually did it. Sami Zayn is your new WWE Undisputed Champion. And to say to this crowd, and to say this crowd went wild is an understatement. This crowd went bananas. This crowd went freaking crazy. And so afterwards, the show's over. We go to the post show. They interview Sammy at the top of the ramp. Sammy says, quote, 10 years I've been in WWE. I said I would never do it. I would never win a world championship. Well, here it is. And that's how they closed it. Then they went to Joe Tess, Rosenberg, and Big E on the post show. And so I didn't watch most of the post show, but I caught one thing with Seth. Seth was talking about like fighting all these big guys, right? And different things he's learned and how different big guys fight differently. And he goes, and you, Big E, you're not the tallest, but you are quite wide. I laughed so hard when he said that. Big E even laughed. But yeah, no, this was great. Sammy's your new WWE champion. I don't know how long he's going to hold the title for. I don't know what they do with him for SummerSlam with that title. I don't think it's Oba. I wouldn't be shocked if it's just like, oh, we put it on Sammy so Oba could squash him. Another Brock, Kofi 6-second match. I hope that's not what they do, but we don't know. I don't know what route they go. Do they go Cody, Sammy one-on-one SummerSlam? Do they go Cody or Sammy Gunther one-on-one SummerSlam? Don't run the triple threat back. We don't need that. But there is the Gunther's going to show up on SmackDown and go, I wasn't pinned. I wasn't in the finish, so I should get another shot. Cody's the one that lost. I can see them doing that. Whether he gets the match or not, we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah. Espinosa, I wholeheartedly think it's Oba and Roman. With Oba winning. Kim going to like it just like he liked Snow White. Dude, I didn't even watch Snow White. What do you mean I liked Snow White? I didn't even watch that movie because I heard it was bad. Tell me I like things I didn't even see? Oh, fuck you, Ben. But I am going to go see Supergirl. Probably tomorrow. We'll see what I think. Like I said, I've been told by a couple friends and read some reviews. The movie's bad because it's a badly, horribly written movie that didn't actually follow the source material that it was supposed to be following properly. But Amelia Alcock was pretty good in the role, and they'd love to see her do more in that role, maybe with someone else writing it and directing it. I don't know. But yeah, like you say, I didn't like Snow White. I don't have an opinion on it at all because I never watched it. I never even fucking saw it. But with all of that, that was Night of Champions. We got a new WWE champion, Sami Zayn. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see where they go with that on SmackDown and what the top SmackDown feud for that title is going into SummerSlam. But you know what I thought of the show? James Gunn got one more chance. James Gunn didn't write or direct that movie. All James Gunn did was approve it because he's a studio head. He greenlit it. That was it. He didn't write it. He didn't direct it. He didn't edit it. He had nothing to do with that movie other than approve the script that he was shown. So there you go. Millie, way too controversial. You think everybody's controversial, guy. Millie Alcock done nothing controversial. Everyone just says she's not cute enough. Like, what the fuck? James Gunn is 2 for 1. What do you mean 2 for 1? James Gunn is, in my opinion, with superhero movies, 4 for 4. All 3 Guardians, 5. All 3 Guardians were great. Suicide Squad was great. Well, The Suicide Squad. And Superman was great. His 5 superhero movies, all great. He's 5 for 5. Anyways, as far as SummerSlam does go, it's kind of just not SummerSlam, Night of Champions, kind of just an in-the-middle show, if I do say so myself. With that, I want to know what you guys thought of the show, so let's go check the polls. As far as the Threads poll does go, 77% like the show, 55, nope, that's not even possible. 77% like the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 8% didn't like it. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 62% liked the show, 31% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. And finally, as far as I didn't do a community poll, did I? Nope. Forgot to do the community poll. I do apologize. Live poll, 78% liked the show, 15% thought it was just all right, and 6% didn't like it. Hey, some of you saying you liked Supergirl, some saying you didn't like Supergirl. What do I always say? Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Some people like things that other people don't like. A lot of people like Talladega Nights. I hate that movie. I think it's funny at times, but a stupid movie and a stupid NASCAR movie that makes fun of the sport, which most NASCAR drivers and fans will tell you they hate Talladega Nights. But I know people that fucking love that movie. Love that movie. I hate Talladega Nights. And everyone's entitled to their own opinions. You can love something that other people hate. You can hate something that other people love. With that, some people hated this show. Some people liked this show. Haven't seen anybody say they actually loved this show as far as Night of Champions does go. We'll be back tomorrow night following AEW Forbidden Door, which is only kind of half forbidden now. So hit that, guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Have a Sunday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. PW Unlimited.